You're in a store doing some errands, typical Tuesday afternoon stuff. And then you start chatting with this really pretty girl. She's smart, she's funny, and she seems like the kind of person you'd want to get to know. So, of course, you want to ask her out. But how do you actually do that? Well, I'm going to tell you that right now. Hey gentlemen, welcome to another edition of Chris Fox Fashion. Today, I'm going to be talking about one of the hardest things you'll ever have to do, and that is ask out a girl. Of course, 2020 is making this even more difficult because of COVID. I actually did a video about this back in 2018, but I thought it would be worth revisiting because, well, 2020 is kind of being a bit of a jerk. And to help you do this, I'm going to give you 4 principles that will ensure that when you ask her out, you are being a true modern gentleman, and some fashion tips that'll make you the most stylish guy in the room. All right, let's get started. Number 1, keeping it safe. This first element is especially critical because of the current health situation, and that is to make sure that you are being safe. And to do this, all you need to do is wear a face mask and maintain a proper social distance. Doing so will ensure that you're both completely safe, and it'll also show her that you are the kind of guy that follows the rules and is responsible. Also, some hand sanitizer might not be such a bad idea right now. Now, I know wearing a face mask isn't very attractive, and you probably will look better without wearing one, but it's kind of important. So how do you actually make a face mask look good? If you want that answer, check out my video, How to Wear a Face Mask and Look Stylish. So safety is a really important element, but what else is there to think about? Well, that actually leads me to number 2. Number 2, keeping it respectful. The second thing you want to do is to make sure that you're very respectful. Now, this is important because, unfortunately, women have to deal with a lot of harassment, especially from men, either disrespect, creepiness, or actual full-on harassment. So, you want to be one of the few guys that actually doesn't do this. And to do this, all you need to do is be courteous, polite, and give her an out. So when you ask her out, you might say something like this. Hey, I kind of like you. I feel like we connected. I'd love to take you out for coffee sometime, but honestly, no pressure. Feel free to say no. I know this is kind of random and I'm kind of just, throwing this out of nowhere. So honestly, please say no if you don't feel comfortable with it. That way, when you actually ask, she is totally comfortable saying no, and she's not worried that you're going to intimidate her or just be generally very rude to her. Another element to being respectful is actually the timing of the ask, and that leads me to the third point. Number 3, ask at the end. What does asking at the end actually have to do with respect? Let's use the example of a server at a restaurant. Let's say, you're having a meal, you're doing the whole thing, you're hitting it off with the server, you're both getting along, and you really want to ask her out. So, instead of waiting till the very end, you actually ask her out partway through the meal. Now, the problem with this is that if you ask her out partway through the meal, then she's going to assume her answer might actually impact the tip that you're going to give her. So, to eliminate this whole problem, simply ask after you've paid. That way, she'll feel a lot more comfortable and she doesn't have to worry that by saying no, she's not going to get a good tip. It also helps you out a lot because if she says no, you can just bail and just get out of there as quickly as you can. Trust me, there's nothing more awkward than, having a meal, than asking out your server and then realizing that you kind of want to stay for dessert, but you don't really know if you should because it's going to be very awkward. So to avoid all that, simply ask out at the end, and then if she says no, you can bail. Should you actually just immediately leave, or should you linger a little bit? I'll talk about that with number 4. Number 4, leave on a high note. This 4th tip is not really something that I came up with myself. I like to say I was so brilliant and thought of all of these myself, but strangely enough, this actually comes from George Costanza from Seinfeld. There is a late series episode where George realizes that if he leaves a room after making a really clever comment, then people remember him making that comment and think, wow, That's a really cool guy, rather than if he sticks around, says something funny, and then says something really stupid. And that's what he likes to call leaving on a high note.
Mickey, he got bacterial meningitis.
Well, I guess there are no small diseases, only small actors. All right, that's it for me. We got everybody.
What was that? What was it?
Showmanship. George is trying to get out on a high.
And so the same is actually true when you're asking out a girl. If you ask her out and she says yes, the best thing to do is just try to leave as quickly as possible while being polite, but as quickly as possible. Let's continue with this restaurant example. Let's say you ask out the server, she's very interested, you get her phone number, and things are great. But then you decide, you know what? I'm going to say something really clever, and she is going to be blown away by this. Now you say it, and she doesn't really laugh, and she kind of thinks, that's a little cheesy. So now you're freaking out. You're like, well, I just blew my chance. I met this amazing girl, but no, I had to open up my mouth and say something really stupid, and now it's all over. And she's kind of thinking, oof, that guy was really nice at the beginning, but that line, my gosh, that line, I don't know if I can go with someone who said that. To avoid that whole problem, when she says yes, simply say, great, I'll text you, I'll call you, whatever you want to do, and then leave the restaurant. But because you've already paid, you can do it and there's nothing awkward about it. So this is all assuming that she says yes. What happens if she actually says no? Well, in that case, you don't want to leave right away. What you want to do is you want to linger a little bit and have a conversation with her. Hopefully a conversation that's kind of funny or something that she finds interesting. That way, next time you see her, it won't be very awkward because she's not going to be, oh, there's that guy that asked me out and I rejected, but rather, oh yeah, there's that guy and we had that funny conversation that one time. Now, of course, this isn't always critical because you might not see that person again, but if you are continuing with the restaurant example, then there's a chance you might actually go back. This will also help you feel more comfortable so that if you do see her again, you're not going to be trying your best to just avoid eye contact. You'll actually be very comfortable because, hey, even though she said no, you know that she doesn't hate you and doesn't want to like kill you or anything horrible like that. This is all well and good, but I'm a fashion guy and I definitely want to talk about what you should be wearing on this quest. The outfit. The trick is that you want to find something that you look good in and that you feel confident in, but you don't want to wear your best outfit because you want to save that for your actual date. So in this situation, I would suggest something a little bit casual, something that you might wear every day. Because it's the summertime, I would suggest wearing a floral button-up shirt with some white pants. Unfortunately, you don't always know when you're actually going to meet this person that you want to ask out. You want to be ready and make sure that you're always looking good. My suggestion to help you do this is just to dress well all the time. Don't believe me? Then check out my video, Why You Should Dress Well, especially during quarantine. If you're looking for some more great outfits to win over the woman of your dreams, then why not check out some of my videos over here? And if you like what you saw, hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.